What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Break Even Sports Show, Break Even Sports Talk, whatever you want to call it. There we go. That's a little bit better.
There you go.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm the prospector, apparently there's just the two of us tonight. So it's I got Mr. Mayor with us, back from vacation, back with us, back on site, back in the home office. I guess back in campaign.
I'm touching grass,
headquarters.
as they say today. Touching grass.
Back in campaign headquarters. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
back off the boat.
Yeah. So how are you doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
How was the trip?
Yeah, it was a great trip. It just you get used to that rocking a little bit, and all of a sudden it's like then you're not. And you wake up in the morning. I didn't wake up this morning so much as Rhonda did. Still kind of feeling like we're moving back and forth a little bit, but it was a great trip. Good to see some countries I hadn't been to, even though that's the one thing about a cruise. You only get like 5 or 6 hours in a port. So you got to really maximize a little bit of time to see something.
I wouldn't know I'm poor. So, I'll let you and Smithers and, the esteemed town councilman and Mrs. Mayor and everyone else tell me a little bit about it. So,
yeah, I definitely want to go back to Puerto Rico, and I've got to do a trip to Puerto Rico with Ed at some point, because I think that would be fun for him to show me the real deal Puerto Rico.
And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I'm pretty sure that he would. He might be a little passionate about showing that off to you. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
I saw some of the touristy area and things like that. Obviously, I would like to see some that's not. I definitely just want to do a baseball game there too, though. That's the other thing. I really want to go back for a ball game of some kind. I think winter league games would be more fun, because it wouldn't be. I mean, I know the WBC was great. It was such a hard ticket to get to begin with,
right?
For some of the games. And I mean, it was 4 years before that happens. I think I just would like to go see some standard run of the mill, winter league games, just the normal atmosphere.
Fair enough. So
what's up, Squiddy Flips? We're gonna be talking some soccer and some other stuff. We're just kind of catching up on some things right this minute.
Yep. So we're gonna be talking soccer. We might even mention a little WNBA with the draft going on tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots of soccer to go over as well. Appreciate everyone joining us, and hope you'll stick with us. Squiddy Flips, Rachel, thanks for what's up. Thanks for joining us. But a big weekend full of football, soccer, whatever, however you want to refer to it. And let's get straight into it. I want to start off in MLS with Major League Soccer. Just kind of want to get your reaction. I don't know how much you got to see, Mr. Mayor, but your Charlotte FC 2-1, falling 2-1 to Nashville, a very good Nashville team, I will say. But any thoughts on that? Did you get to see the game, or any thoughts on that?
Sorry, I was muted, just coughing a minute ago. I have not seen any of the MLS games yet. I did. I saw they kind of gotten off to an okay start. But no, I haven't watched any other or kept up with it. With my travels, I've missed on a lot of the stuff. Even the other leagues that we're going to talk to, I just kind of kept up with it by looking at the ESPN app and seeing some scores, but I didn't actually see any action.
Yeah, well, I mean, Nashville's off to a great start again. I mean, they've been a solid team for years. Just to go over some of the scores, Atlanta United unfortunately loses yet another one. They lost 1-0 to Chicago Fire in Chicago. Toronto FC and FC Cincinnati drew 1-1. LA Galaxy was victorious against Austin FC 2-1. Philadelphia Union got a win over CF Montreal, and Montreal actually sacked their manager. And so
already,
so they're already, and
wow.
that is not that is kind of par for the course for Montreal. Then Portland Timbers got a big 2-1 win over LAFC. So thank you, Portland, for that. I personally like seeing LAFC lose, but that's just me. We mentioned Nashville beating Charlotte 2-1. Inter Miami and New York Red Bulls drew 2-2. And then let's see, New England Revolution were victorious 1-0 over DC United. Vancouver Whitecaps continue a good start to the season with a 2-0 win over New York City FC. FC Dallas and St. Louis City SC drew 1-1. San Jose Earthquakes, Bruce Arena continuing to do a good job in San Jose. 3-1 winners over Sporting Kansas City. Colorado Rapids with a dominant 6-2 win over Houston Dynamo. And Minnesota United FC with a 2-1 win over San Diego FC. So a big game. What's up, Phil? Oh. It's the best of the break-even sports talk. Hey, it's Mike Gurrell. What's up, my man? Thanks for joining us, even though we'll get into our team's result that I wish I didn't have to talk about. But I digress, because at least one of us on here has a team that can actually talk about a win.
A couple of teams that won. Although my Atletico.
Thanks for rubbing it in.
Atletico's been struggling lately, but
thanks for rubbing it in and just saying that I have a couple of teams that won, because guess what? I didn't. So MLS is off to it's interesting because they're going to have this is way far ahead, but they've actually released for MLS next season. They're going to be switching to a more European style schedule. So next season is going to be basically a condensed schedule. So they've come out with this plan to basically just 2027 season is just going to be, hey, look, there's another guy. I want to see, let's see, Mike is, I wanted to see tears for Tottenham and relegation. And I guess Virgil took a little bit of, the producer took a little exception to what Mr. Gurrell had to say. So anyways, Virgil, thanks for joining us. You were missed, as I hope you know. And let's see. But anyways, I was saying about MLS, they're going to have a condensed schedule in 2027. So I'm honestly not looking forward to that. I mean, I think it's just going to be growing pains and to try to switch to the new schedule that they're going to have.
Yeah, because they're going to roll from this, like this is going to end, and then there's just going to be a short break, and then roll right into a condensed winter schedule, basically,
essentially
to get on schedule for 27.
Right.
With 27 into 28, I should say.
Right.
With the traditional European League formats. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they're trying to do that after the World Cup to try to show like, hey, we're on par with everybody else. And I also think it's a way to try to market to get new players, because it's difficult for players coming off of a European schedule to then come in and just play right away in MLS. If you can kind of stay aligned with that schedule, you're going to have very similar transfer windows. You're not going to have players coming in at odd times. So, but for players that are in MLS, it's going to be a big change. So
yeah, instead of playing in the summer, now you're going to be playing through the winter, the fall and the winter and into the spring a little bit.
No, we are not.
We are not twins.
I'm not going to live that one down. Nope.
No, he is much younger than me, by the way.
As much as I make fun of it, it's probably not that much, but it's oh man, Virgil's number 3 on somebody's list. Normally he's 1 or 2 on everybody's list. I'm probably Mike Gurrell might be the only person where I crack the top 2 on somebody's list. He might be the only person. Usually I'm like 5 or 6 or 7, or in the case of the Luanda City supporter, not even on the list. So where is all this coming from? People think that I look like you. Where in the world? Maybe you should wear your glasses. Now, you have every right to your opinion. You have every right to your opinion. I just, I always make fun of him about being old, and now I'm being compared to him and looking like him. So, what does that say about me?
So now you're hurt that you're being told you're old,
Well,
or
it ain't
either I look a lot younger than you think
yeah.
I
Well,
am.
it ain't the first time I've been told that I'm old. So it's you know, that's this is not the first time I've been told that. That's been going on for a little bit.
So what's your issue with LAFC? Because I'm a big Will Ferrell fan. Not that I care about LAFC,
It,
but
it's more of like a supporters thing for me.
okay.
Um,
I knew there
it
had to
kind
be
of
a
came in
story
as the new
there.
one. It's the same issue that probably people had with Atlanta when they were being successful,
Mhm.
especially initially. We kind of came in and started running things, but then I feel like LAFC tried to copy what Atlanta did. Now Atlanta's support has fallen off a little bit. I will be the first to admit that, because you know how it is in Atlanta. A lot of times, if we're not winning, I get this the frustration, but um, I'm gonna stick with them regardless, because that's how I was raised. But um, LAFC, they have a very vocal support base. I like to see them lose. That's just me. Yeah, personally.
Well, they're where are they at? Let's see, Western Conference. Okay, well they're third in the Western Conference, so they're not
Well,
doing too
they're
bad right
always
now.
there or thereabouts,
Yeah.
much as I hate to admit it. They're
Charlotte's okay. Like I said, they started off, so they're 3-2 right now.
Yeah.
So they've gotten, despite the loss this week, um, they must have won last week because they didn't have 3 wins before I left on the trip, and I didn't see what happened last weekend, to be honest. But
No, that is not my dad. He is. He has. He does.
who's your daddy?
That is not
You're
my
gonna
dad.
regret this show. You're gonna
Oh
regret that
man,
I'm your
I should
only
have. I should have
co-host now.
canceled it. I should have canceled it. No. Anyways, that's gonna be a
By the
bit now,
way,
isn't it?
I am old enough that he could be my son if I had him in high school. So
I am not going to live this one down. Um, no, it's all good. But you may see another one on here. Someone saying this is fantastic. I'm going to be getting crap about this now. So, thank you. But no, it's all good. It's all
it's
good.
okay, Lucky. You are
It will-
giving us content. Hashtag content is my
Yeah.
motto. So
Lucky,
we are welcoming the content.
lucky, it's all good. I'm not hurt by it in the slightest. He's a good guy. As much as I pick on him, he is a good guy. So looking at the MLS table, Nashville is top of the table in the Eastern Conference, and then Vancouver is in the Western Conference. So, and like I said, San Jose in an unfamiliar spot. Bruce Arena, I'm telling you, for all his misgivings, whenever he goes into a place, he makes teams better. He may not be a great international coach, but man, he knows how to be successful in MLS, and that is a talent in and of itself. So but everywhere he's been, New England Revolution. Thank you, Lucky. We appreciate that. Thank you. I think that he just knows how to win, and he knows the formula that he has to use, and I think he has a large enough sample size to show that he can do. He's done it pretty much everywhere he's been when he's given the tools to do it. So it's early days. It's only 7 games in, or 6 for some. So we'll see what happens as it goes on. But good start for San Jose, I got to say.
Well,
So
I was hoping to catch a Charlotte Atlanta game with you this season.
mhm.
And I'm looking at the fixtures, and that's not going to happen, my friend. The first time we play, I will be out of the country again on vacation in July.
Well, I mean,
and then the next time we play is the weekend of our CBM meetup. So,
and I was going to say, and you act like I'm surprised. For those of you that are new, what you're going to learn is that Donnie is obscenely rich. So,
no, I'm not. That's not a true statement.
Thank you, Lucky. Appreciate that. Share with your friends.
What's up, Holsinger?
What's up, Holsinger? Yeah. How many out of country vacations? Basically every
this
other
year
week.
too.
every other week.
No, this year too. Completed
Every other week.
one to go.
Holsinger, not that you asked, but I have 0. So, yep, me too. Me too. His compound is what I call it. So,
and those of you that are new to the show don't believe any of that.
Okay, so to get into it is gated. It is. Anyways, let's go to England. Go to
Cheerio.
Cheerio to pull up the scores. Big weekend in the title race. Arsenal has made it interesting. Losing 2-1 to Bournemouth at home this weekend. That's a big win for Bournemouth, but it's really a big win for Manchester City, because this puts Man City right back in the title race, because they got a big win themselves, unfortunately, at my team's expense. Man, what's up, Mark?
They close I mean, that's 3 points off of a 9-point gap that they had. So
Mark, just so you know, English, we're talking English football. There we go. So that way you don't have to hear me say it. Yeah. Anyways, what's up, Lucky? Anyways, so Mark, big ups to you. Thanks for joining us again. We appreciate you. And we appreciate everyone in the chat. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you everybody for joining us. We appreciate this very much. So just going over the Saturday scores, as I said, Arsenal lost to Bournemouth 2-1. Brentford and Everton drew 2-2. Brighton got a big win over Burnley to keep them firmly in the European spots. Liverpool finally put together a good performance for them. They've been inconsistent, but they got a 2-0 win. Sorry, Virgil, over Virgil's beloved Fulham. And let's see. Oh yeah. And look who joined, even though he can't stand the game. Luanda City with a big 2-1 win at this weekend in the Angolan League. So
yeah.
Anyways, so that was a big win. So huge supporter, Eric Profit of the influencer, big Luanda City supporter. So shout out to your guys. Let's see. Sunday scores. Let's see. We have. Can you tell I'm not the producer, because I just don't have.
I'll run the scores. So Sunday you had my team Crystal. Well, I wanted to talk about this one. Crystal Palace was 2-1 over Newcastle.
That's a good one.
Big win for us. Then you can go ahead with the rest. I just wanted to
go ahead.
I just wanted to point out my Crystal Palace.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa with a 1-1 draw. Then Sunderland, poor Ed. Tottenham takes a 1-0 loss.
Yeah.
Yikes. And then Man City disposes of Chelsea 3-0. So
yeah, that wasn't even a game. Yeah.
No, that 3 points they scored on you gained them 3 points on Arsenal. So
lucky, yeah.
And there was one game today, by the way.
There was, yeah.
Yeah, Leeds over Man U, 2-1 today. So
yeah. He's in a much cooler room, Lucky, than I am. So mine's pretty chill, or at least I like to think it is. And his is just tricked out. So.
Yeah, I have all my sports memorabilia back here. There's a lot more around the room. But this is kind of my backdrop for our shows. Yeah. A lot of baseball stuff. A lot of sports stuff. All kinds of sports.
But with some of the games that you brought up from Sunday, had a big indications at the bottom of the table with the relegation places. So as we already know, those who follow know that Wolves are firmly in the in the bottom spot, and they are They lost again this week. They lost again on Friday to West Ham. That's the one result I forgot to go over. West Ham 4-0 winners over Wolves, and that was a dominant performance and was a huge win for West Ham because it takes them out of the relegation places above Tottenham, which we'll get into. But Wolves are bottom. Burnley is just right above them. Burnley and Wolves are, I think, virtually, I don't know if they're mathematically guaranteed to go down, but they are very, very close, if not mathematically so. So
Yeah,
then
there's only
the
how many games are left?
5,
5.
6,
Okay, all right.
somewhere right in there.
Yeah. Okay.
But that last relegation spot is very, very close, really between 3 teams: West Ham, Nottingham Forest, and Tottenham. But now Forest, though they didn't play well, got a really big result. They got a huge point against Villa, which is great for them. A 1-1 draw against Villa. You'll take that every day of the week if you're a Forest fan. Like I said, West Ham's in the best form of the 3 right now. And again, 4-0 win. That's a statement result for them. And then, like I said, Tottenham admittedly had a tough assignment this weekend to go to the Stadium of Light, to take on Sunderland. But still, they couldn't get a point. You what?
It didn't go well.
It did not go well. And Tottenham even had a new manager, Roberto De Zerbi, who's the former Brighton manager, actually, for those that don't know. He had a stint at Marseille in France, but then he left there, I think, in February. And then he's now the new Tottenham manager, and they did not get the, as they call it, a manager bump, meaning everyone kind of gets a new lease on life with the new manager. That they did not get that this weekend against Sunderland. And it doesn't get easier for them. They have Brighton this coming weekend. So
they do have Wolves the following week.
They do.
Outside of that, they don't really have anything else. That's their only.
Oh, well, they got Chelsea. They can beat Chelsea.
Well, yeah.
The way Chelsea's playing.
Maybe.
I think, and with that being a London derby, you kind of throw form out the window, or at least I do.
Right.
And I'm not going to be overconfident because people also thought that they couldn't get a point against Liverpool, and they did. Yeah. So yeah. Lucky, this is DHC Sports, isn't that what he called it?
Yeah. If you go to YouTube and look up DHC Sports, it's up here in the top left. You'll see DHC. DHC Sports. That's the channel for this show and all of our other shows. We have other shows on Tuesdays and Thursday nights, and then one on Monday a.m. Eastern, U.S. time, 6 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
So go there, like and subscribe, and you can check out some of our previous shows as well.
Yeah. So for our new people, just so you know, this is Break Even Sports Talk that we do every Monday night at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Every Monday night. Then we also have the DHC Sports Show that we have every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then, as the mayor was referencing, there's
Breakfast Takes.
Breakfast Takes every Monday morning at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with the mayor and Mr. Dad Hat himself. So, was that Mia that just told people like and subscribe?
Absolutely.
I can't do it like Mia, but we'll neither of us can, but we'll do our best.
Yeah, we have lots of different content on each show, different takes of things, different sports that we cover. So
this show is mainly like soccer, maybe something that's like non-NFL football talk, American football talk, WNBA, NHL.
And we'll get into some UFL football on here.
Yeah. But then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we talk a lot about Major League Baseball, the NFL, a lot of your major American sports that we talk about then. And then Breakfast Takes, they talk about the Carolina sports. So
Ed and I are located in North and South Carolina, so we'll talk about
Yeah.
things happening here, and then a lot of our stuff on the mornings is not just sports. It's
Yeah.
just chit chat, pop culture stuff. We'll get
So
into whatever we feel like talking
yeah.
about.
Well, and we talk a lot about a lot of things that are true, but sometimes we have stuff that comes across that are just straight up lies, like this. That's a straight up lie. Um, anyways, so don't believe stuff like this that you see. But we have a lot of great talk that we talk about on all of our shows. So thanks to all of y'all for joining in. We appreciate it. Anyways, so we were talking about the relegation fight. Donnie, what do you think is going to happen with, considering what Tottenham has left, like West Ham's form, and with Nottingham Forest? What do you think is going to be, what's your take on all of this?
I mean, it's still too close to call, to be honest. I mean, selfishly, I think Crystal Palace will take care of West Ham this coming week, but who knows? So West Ham has Crystal Palace, so we'll see how that fares for them. And like as you said earlier, Tottenham has Brighton. They're right at the same part of the table as Sunderland, so that could go the same way. It's really a 3-team race for that one spot, because I think Burnley and Wolves are pretty much settled there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with five matches left, or 6, I think it was actually 6.
It's 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's two left in April and then 4 in May.
Yeah, I was gonna say 6 or 7, because I think City and Palace.
Oh, City and Palace have one to make up.
Have one to make up, and that's what makes the.
But that's not going to affect. That's not going to affect. Well, it may for City. I'm sorry, it should for City, but that's not going to affect the relegation part of this table.
No,
specifically. So it's basically Nottingham, West Ham, and Tottenham. A lot of hams there. It's a ham fest.
Well, and it's only those 3 teams because of Leeds' big result today, beating Manchester United. That was a huge result for them. So that takes them. I wouldn't say out of it. Out of the relegation.
It puts them 6 points kind of above the line, if you want to say the line's right at 30 right now, because that's where Tottenham's at.
Yeah.
So they're at least 6 points ahead of the line.
Yep. That's a huge win for them.
Yeah.
And no one's going to want to face them in the last 6 games of the season. So
it'll be an interesting. It's a good mix of middle table, top table, and lower table teams that they each have to play. So it's not like any one of them kind of has the quote unquote easy road.
Right.
If there is such a thing in the Premier.
There's no.
I don't think there is.
I mean, I think we always say this. There's no easy games in the Premier League.
Look at what Arsenal did this week. I mean, that should have been that on paper. That should have been an easy game.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, now they're just making let's see. If Man City, were to win their game in hand, that would put them 3 points behind on level games. But Man City still has to play Arsenal,
right?
So that's going to be that's going to be the litmus test. So it's still in Arsenal's hands, even with these results going the way they did this weekend. The question is, can they keep it in their hands? It's going to be interesting. I mean, Arsenal's defense has been struggling, which is really concerning, considering that's been their strength all season. It's really been their forward play that's been the concerning part for them. They rely on scoring from set pieces most of the time, but now that the defense is flailing, we'll see. Man City's starting to play well at the right time, but I'm still not convinced by City not being inconsistent. I mean, they dropped points against Forest a couple weeks ago. So while they played very well against Chelsea, a lot of teams have played well against Chelsea recently. So that doesn't, just because they're better than Chelsea is not really a compliment at the moment. Sorry, Mike. I hate to say that, but I got to call it like I see it right now, because we can't beat anybody at the moment.
Well, and this weekend is
except for Port Vale, but they're like 3 leagues below,
right?
So we should beat them.
I mean, this week's going to be the real telltale for the top of the table here, because Man City Arsenal is this Sunday. So
It is indeed.
that's gonna be a huge game for
And
both in that spot right there. And
it is.
then Man City's got Burnley, Southampton, Everton, Brentford, Bournemouth, Aston Villa, and they still have to make up the Crystal Palace game, which isn't
Yeah.
even on the schedule yet.
Yeah. So it's not an easy run in
They
for
have
them, but
8
it's,
games left, actually.
yeah, but it's not an easy run in for Arsenal either.
No, Arsenal just as yeah, let's just run them real quick too. So they have, again, the same thing. Plus, Arsenal actually has a match Wednesday in the Champions League against Sporting CP.
Yep.
Then they've got Man City. Then they've got Newcastle, Fulham, West Ham, Burnley, Crystal Palace, and
Yep.
then that's it.
I would not want to face West Ham right now either. Yeah, I mean, the way West Ham are playing, and considering they're so motivated because they've got something to play for. And
Yeah, I mean, you know, people might think that they're the European version of the Ham Fighters in the Nippon Baseball League because they're going to be fighting.
Yeah, they are. Wow. Virgil, can you show a yellow card through the chat, please?
Oh, apparently I've already gotten a red card today on my very good dad joke.
I got to give you props for that one. I thought that one was really good.
I knew you would like that one. You are a
listen,
connoisseur of dad jokes, as I am.
well, I thought that one was,
Well
despite
played.
what that ERICP04 likes to say, I thought that was actually a pretty good one. Yeah, I thought that was good. So kudos to you. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was good. So, let's see. Yeah, I mean that's so we've got exciting stuff going on at the top of the table and at the bottom of the table.
Yeah.
Let's get into your let's get into the Bundesliga, shall we?
Okay.
Your boys this past weekend. Oh, big surprise. They won again.
What? Oh,
I know,
no.
right? Wow. And not only did they win, but they won
Handily.
Yeah. And do you want to talk about the record that they broke?
To be honest, you cover it because, again, I was out of pocket all weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm not even up to speed on all of that, to be honest.
So Bayern broke. They scored 5 goals this weekend, which took their total goals in the Bundesliga this season to 105, which broke the Bundesliga record. And by the way, they did all this without Harry Kane. That's the scary part.
Yeah, because he was apparently accepting an award somewhere or something that you were talking about earlier.
Oh, well, it's not so much accepting an award, but he might as well be. He might as well be.
Just kidding.
He's been unreal. But let's see. So yeah, man, what a horrible record. There are only 24 wins, 4 draws, and 1 loss. That one loss to FC Augsburg, early, like back in like December. And that was sort of a fluky win anyway. No disrespect to Augsburg. I mean, that's a great win for them, but it's good to see Jamal Musiala back, by the way, just so after his nasty injury that he had last season, it's so good to see him back. He's a former Chelsea Academy player, so I really love Jamal Musiala. It breaks my heart that he ended up in Munich, but good for him. He bet on himself and he made a success of himself. So he scored in the 9th minute. Leon Goretzka, who honestly looks like he took he's like the football version of a player that took steroids. I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying he went from being like a slight player to being absolutely jacked. I don't know what he did. I don't know if he took like the Captain America serum or something like that, but he went, he's ripped now. Michael Olise scoring in the 54th minute. So they scored 2 goals in 2 minutes because there was Goretzka in the 53rd and Michael Olise, former Palace player, by the way, in the 54th minute. Nico Jackson on loan from Chelsea scored in the 65th minute. And then Rafael Guerrero in the 88th minute. So big win for Bayern Munich. Just a very, very impressive performance. I don't care who it is. winning like that, like beating any Bundesliga team 5-0 to me is impressive, even if it is St. Pauli. So, thoughts on that?
Hey, I'm just riding this wave right now, to be honest. It's like, okay. I mean, in all transparency to those that have not followed us, it was a random thing that I chose this team. I didn't choose them because of how good they are. I had no idea how good they were. It just worked out that this was the team I chose to follow because of a local supporters group, and that's the only reason. And
Sure.
so, I'll see
I
how
still
long
don't believe that story, by the way. I think it's your rich connections that you used. Probably one of your holidays in Germany or something like that you used to kind of inform that. But here's one for you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said it's funny. I was talking to somebody recently about soccer, and they're like, "Oh man, I can't get into soccer. I can't watch soccer." And I was like, you know what? I was the same way until I made the decision that I was going to learn it through you guys, you and Virgil, and doing this show and just kind of taking it in. And I said, I used to watch a soccer match and not understand the strategy that I was actually seeing, and now I see that strategy unfold a lot during the match. Now there's still times it's like it frustrates me that they come down and they don't just take the shot. It's like, just go ahead and take the shot. They try to maneuver that strategy too much sometimes.
Yep.
But it is what it is. And
it's not just frustrating for you, I promise.
Right. And I've gotten to, it's like hockey. I mean, I've always watched hockey off and on, even without really understanding it. Now that I go to hockey games in person, I'm really into hockey. And the next step is to see some soccer matches in person live and really get into it from that standpoint.
Oh, don't worry. We'll get into that because I'm really sour on hockey at the moment.
I'm assuming your teams are as bad as your soccer team is right now. Like, yeah. Okay. I honestly haven't, again, I've been out of pocket for like 9 days. I haven't gotten back into like catching up on where everything is at in the sports world.
I'll get into it in a minute, but let's just say the Ducks had the Pacific Division lead and now they don't, and they can't even beat Vancouver.
Wow.
That gives you any indication.
Well, I mean, I've been fortunate, and I only followed the Florida Panthers because they are the affiliate, or they are the parent club, of the Charlotte Checkers, who is the team I really care about. So whoever the parent club would have been, whether it's Florida or not, that's who I would follow. And I've been fortunate because Florida, as you know, has won several Stanley Cups back to back the last few years.
Yep.
It wasn't like I picked Florida just because they're a Stanley Cup team, and they are horrible this year. And it's really sad to me because last year's Checkers team was loaded with a lot of guys that, went up and down a lot during the season. And then at the end of the season, none of those contracts were renewed. A lot of them were traded and they weren't brought up. And now the Panthers are sucking. And I'm like, why didn't you just keep those guys? Because they almost won the Calder Cup at the AHL level with those guys. So
sometimes, like, it's hard to understand why decisions are made in minor league hockey.
Yeah.
Like just like sometimes you wonder with minor league baseball, right? Yeah, not that we're talking about that tonight, but it's a good thing to talk about. And, maybe we'll revisit that for the night's out to get some further thoughts on that.
Sure.
But little stat for you. So I'm going to give you an over-under, okay?
Okay.
The over-under being 40. How many more goals would you take the over-under on the number of goals that Bayern Munich has, for the season compared to the next highest club in the Bundesliga?
Okay, so the over-under is 40.
Yes.
I guess on my instincts and the way that you presented it, I'm going to say over.
You would be correct.
Okay. I felt you were leading that way, but I was like, I don't know if you're leading or misleading.
It's a bad one to try to challenge you on when I'm bringing it up, because there's obviously a reason I'm bringing it up, right?
Right.
So I mentioned earlier that Bayern Munich has scored 105 goals this season. Borussia Dortmund is second, or sorry, Borussia Dortmund is tied for second for the next most goals scored. They've scored 60.
Wow.
And also and Stuttgart has also scored 60. So that means they've almost, not quite, but they've scored 45 more goals than the next highest club. Like, that's just not fair. I mean, I think your biggest challenge as a Munich supporter, and maybe you can speak to this because I know you support a lot of teams that win, unlike yours truly. But I wonder sometimes when you have that kind of lead, they've got a 12-point lead right now in the league. But just that motivation to keep playing at a top level when you feel like I don't know how much of a challenge you have in that. I don't mean that to disrespect any other team in the Bundesliga, right? I mean, it's
I think you have to look for other goals.
Yeah.
And possibly scoring 100 may have been motivation for a while for these guys. Like, we're not even concerned about the wins to some extent,
right?
As much as like, okay, yeah, we want to win all the games, but how many goals can we score, or how dominant can this team be?
Sure.
I mean, you think about, well, I mean, and you think back to like back in the day. I don't think it's this way anymore in the NBA, but like when Jordan was playing, Jordan wanted to embarrass you. Jordan wanted to like that's where back in the day you would say you put your foot on their throat and you don't let up.
Sure.
That doesn't happen as much anymore, and that's what I think Bayern's trying to do is they're putting their foot on everybody's throat and they're not letting up.
Now, here's one for you. Do you think, on current form, in your opinion, is Bayern Munich the best team in the world?
I mean, again, I don't have the knowledge that you have, but based on what I see from my perspective, I don't see anyone that is playing in their own leagues, because every league's different. Every league's structured differently, talent-wise. So, but I don't think there's anybody doing in any other league what they're doing in their league. So, in theory, yes, I would say they probably are. I don't know another team in any other league that could challenge them easily.
And I would agree right now.
Yeah.
PSG has a shout, but even so, I don't even see them playing to that level. Now,
that would be, this would be a good question for
Garel
and for Mark and some of you guys out there that follow it a little bit more.
Yeah. Tell us in the chat, do you think that Bayern Munich is the best team in the world right now? And if not, who is?
Right.
Who is?
I mean, anybody can be beaten on any given day, but who do you think could just like go out there and be like, yeah, I think they could beat Bayern?
Well, and a Grill litmus test, I think, for that is going to be the second leg with their Champions League tie against Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I think that, that they had a 2-1 win over Madrid in the first leg. I'm trying to figure out where the next leg is. Let's see. I think it's, let's see.
I mean, they don't have it listed under the
here. Let's see. I can tell you
fixtures or anything.
Let's see. Okay, wow. So they won 2-1 in Madrid. So
okay.
So this week they're going to be in Munich. So that's, I mean, we'll see what happens, because Madrid, even though they struggle in the league,
here it is,
they're a different they're a different kettle of fish when it comes to the Champions League. I mean, few teams have the pedigree in Europe that Real Madrid do. In fact, I would argue no one does, over a long sample size. But yeah,
I mean Real Madrid's 22-4-5 in La Liga. So in their own league, they haven't been as dominant, and they're actually they're second to Barcelona in the league. So
well, that's been more of a case of, I don't know if anyone wants to win the league in Spain. Right. It's been a lot like England in a way, in terms of just no one wants to win it. Everyone's been so inconsistent. So Virgil saying PSG is really the only threat. I would agree with that, unless unless Liverpool has a dramatic turnaround, I don't see them, beating PSG in the second leg. They were lucky to get away with. They're lucky to still be in the tie, in my opinion, with the way that they were awful against. I mean, not as bad as Chelsea was against PSG, but they were awful against PSG in the first leg. So, since Virgil's on, I do want to go into the Bundesliga 2 really quick. I want to give a shout out to FC Kaiserslautern.
Yes.
For the big win over Hertha Berlin this past weekend. And that keeps them that brought them within a point of Hertha Berlin who's one position above them in 6th. So Virgil, I know you're not on, but does this, you know a lot more about this than we do. Does this mean that Kaiserslautern still has a shout at one of the getting that 3rd spot, for the promotion playoff? Because I think first and second position, I think, are sort of out of it for them. But do you still think that they have a shot with that huge win over Hertha Berlin?
I mean, they've only got 5 games showing left in their fixture. So
yeah, I mean, I think everything would have to go their way. I mean,
yeah, because they're
in
12.
position at
They're 12
46.
back. They're 12 points back of first, so they would have to win and get 3 points in all 5 of those matches.
Yeah,
and these guys would have to lose.
Yeah, so they have
or not win any games, and I don't think that's what's going to happen.
So he's saying they've got an outside chance for that playoff spot, but those other teams have to drop points. Yeah,
yeah,
and that's a big if, because I don't know what their fixture lists look like, but like, just for those that follow, Schalke's in first, is the top of the table. Paderborn's in second position. Hanover is in third. Elversberg is in fourth. Darmstadt is in fifth. And then Hertha Berlin, who Kaiserslautern just beat, are in sixth position. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, stranger things have happened. So
I could see they might make it into the top 4. I don't know if they can climb higher than that at this point, but we'll see.
Well, happy for Virgil's beloved Kaiserslautern that they got 3 points. That was a big win for them. And I didn't really give you a chance in England to talk about Palace's game, but congratulations on the 3 points.
Yeah, good for Palace. I mean, we're kind of bottom mid-table, 13th here.
Yeah.
So, not really. We're just kind of in no man's land the rest of the season.
Right.
But, we're not near relegation, but we're not going to get anywhere else either. So just kind of like ride this out and hope for better next year.
Well, I saw a Mateta sighting this past weekend. Jean-Philippe Mateta, the one who was supposed to leave, but then he failed a physical. He failed a medical. So he did not join AC Milan, and he was in a team with Jurgen Strand Larsen. Who thought that was going to happen? But he contributed to the win this past weekend. So kudos to him for, still putting in a performance for the team, even though he's made it very clear he wants to leave. So
he's kind of like our Max Crosby at this point.
He pretty much is. That's actually a pretty good comparison.
Yeah.
Considering he's like, basically, I think he's basically like, I'm here now and I've got to shot myself for the summer because I don't know if AC Milan's going to come back in for him or not. Time will tell. But he's got to market himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually a good point. Virgil thinks that Palace wins the Conference League. Let's go into that. Actually, thank you, Virgil. I'm glad you mentioned that. So let's go into let's kind of talk about Europe for a minute, shall we?
Okay. Educate me here, because I'm.
So for those that don't know, the UEFA Conference League is I hate to call it best for the wrestling, third tier European competition. So there's the Champions League that is for the top European clubs. Then one rung below that is the Europa League, which is what really Palace should be in, but because of all that controversy at the beginning of the season,
that's right.
Nottingham Forest got that spot. due to ownership issues, shall we
Yep.
say, which was out of the players' control. They could have done nothing, even though they earned the Europa League spot, but they're in the Conference League. They're in a good spot they're in the quarterfinals. They are, yeah, there you go. It's the CIT compared to the NCAA tournament and the NIT. That's a good basketball equivalent.
There you go. Okay.
So Conference League's the third run and it's only a few years old. Chelsea won it last season. West Ham has won it. So English teams have done very well in the Conference League, as they should. But Crystal Palace won the first leg 3-0 over Fiorentina. And so they go into the second leg, which I believe is this coming week.
Yes, Thursday at 3:00. I am going to
yeah,
put that
so-
on my schedule
so,
right now because I will be home.
Yeah, so that's
Thursday.
that's a big game for Palace. It's the other teams left in it are Mainz, who from Germany, Strasbourg from France, who is also a Blue Co-owned team, which is the company that owns Chelsea. Rayo Vallecano, which is a Spanish team, AEK Athens from Greece, from the Greek Super League, Shakhtar Donetsk from the Ukrainian Pro League, and then AZ Alkmaar from the Netherlands. So some decent teams still in there. But we'll see what happens. Right now, I would say Palace, Mainz, Shakhtar, and Rayo are the three teams that have significant advantages from the first leg. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. But basically, Crystal Palace just needs a professional performance to try to move on. You don't have to do too much. You're not under pressure to score. You just need to hold your lead. So, thoughts on that?
I'm just learning about this. So, any cups they can win? Because last year when they won the FA Cup, that's where I first even heard the name Crystal Palace. Did not know anything about them, but before that, and basically chose them based on that. And watching or listening and watching Dan Patrick's show and hearing Rebecca Lowe talk about her love of Crystal Palace growing up as a Crystal Palace fan. And I was like, that sounds like a cool team to pick. Had no idea whether they were good or bad, other than that was the first time they had won a cup of any kind. And I was like,
haven't won a cup in 125 years. And then you tune in and they win one.
Exactly.
It's like my parents when they had never watched any college football ever. And then my sister went to Auburn, and it was the year Cam Newton was at Auburn with Gene Chizik. And I'm like, you do understand this does not happen every year, right? Just
so,
like
I'm
any
excited.
Palace fan can tell you, winning a trophy doesn't, and you've seen 2 trophies.
Right, exactly.
Because there was the FA Cup, and then you've got this hoodoo over Liverpool. I think you've probably cursed them. And you also have a Community Shield.
See, I like trophies, just like this one that Rhonda and I won.
Where'd you win a trophy, Donnie? Yeah, where'd you win a trophy?
We won the trophy for trivia questions.
Nice.
Yeah, we played one of the trivia games and won us a cool little plastic.
So tell me, because I'm a little confused. Was this on the regular cruise, or was this on your privately chartered, even bigger cruise boat that you guys had? Was this like an exclusive one? Was this like one that you did with like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates in them, or was this the one with all the other people on the cruise?
This was all the little people.
All little people, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I know you guys have like a trillionaires one that you guys do.
See, we choose fun.
I like that. Congratulations. Was it like pop culture trivia or just like different categories?
This one was we had to name the artist and the song and the artist.
Oh, so it was a music
trivia.
one. It was music trivia.
Yeah.
Was esteemed town councilman of the great town of Irmo and the influencer of fun, the Honorable Mike Ward, part of that team?
This didn't suit his musical
Okay.
interest.
Okay.
It wasn't in the genres he knew.
Did I get his title right?
Close to it, yeah. I think you got it right.
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
I think you nailed that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
You
I'm
can
gonna do
work
it with
on it. He's
I'm
probably
gonna
not
do
even on here
yeah,
tonight, so
I'm gonna do it with more emphasis when I see him on here. So I'm
yeah,
gonna
exactly.
have it perfect whenever he gets on. So, um, so yeah. Let's go to the Europa League. Let's see what we got left there. Because honestly, I think Forest is still in it. Could be wrong though. I've not been following it. Well, yeah, actually, I forgot. This is Forest is in the quarterfinals, but they're facing. So there's Celta Vigo against Freiburg. Freiburg has a 3-0 advantage going into the second leg this week. And of course, my beloved Real Betis is still in it against Braga. That was a 1-1 draw last week, and so now this week in the return leg, it's all to play for. Nottingham Forest and FC Porto were 1-1 as well, and I believe they're back at the City Ground this week, if I'm not
Yes, they are.
mistaken.
Yep, they are.
So that was a great result in Portugal for Forest. So we got that going, and then let's see. Let me get back to where I was.
And did you say Real Betis and Braga?
Yes, I sure did.
Okay.
And
So what was the other
then
one? Aston Villa and Bologna.
yeah, Aston Villa and Bologna. Yep.
Bologna.
Aston Villa has a 3-1 advantage. So two English teams in the quarterfinals. That's good to see.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. But those will be happening on Thursday as well. And in the Champions League, there's no Chelsea, I can tell you that. We have Madrid and Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich has a 2-1 advantage going into that game. Let's see. Atleti has if I remember correctly, a 2-0 advantage over Barcelona going into the second leg.
Yep.
PSG has a 2-0 lead going into Liverpool. That game's tomorrow, as well as Atletico and Barcelona. And then what's the other one I'm forgetting? Oh, Arsenal and Sporting CP. Arsenal has a 1-0 advantage over Sporting. So going to be an interesting end. There's still some big teams in it.
So my three teams, if I didn't have to work the next few days, at 3 p.m. tomorrow, Atletico Madrid's playing. 3 p.m. Wednesday, Bayern's playing. 3 p.m. Thursday, Crystal Palace is playing.
Hashtag humble brag.
Hashtag I got teams playing every day this week, bro.
Man, listen.
And Saturday and Sunday.
These teams in European tournaments are like your bank account. They're all in there.
That's right.
Man.
All in the quarters.
All in the well, no. Well, they may be in the quarters, but you're in the trillions. So you know. Even while you were gone, there were people talking about how much money you have. It was great. Yeah. Mike Gorell, who knows you very well, had to fill them in, say that you're obscenely rich. It was great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Mike Gorell knows.
I got to go do some work for him on Wednesday to make some more money. So he'll be paying me some more.
Oh man, cha-ching! I like it. All right. So I think we've pretty much covered soccer or football, as they say. Let's talk a little bit about NHL, shall we?
Okay.
So, I'm trying to go with the NHL playoffs, where we stand today. I'm trying to see who has.
Let's see.
Here we go. Here's the bracket. So, let's start with the teams that have actually clinched. Let me see. Let me go to the standings. So, in the Eastern Conference, in the Atlantic Division, the Buffalo Sabres, the Montreal Canadiens, and the Tampa Bay Lightning have clinched. In the Metropolitan, the Carolina Hurricanes, I believe, have clinch the
Well,
top seed in the conference.
there's 2 others in the Atlantic.
There's what?
Did you
Oh,
mention
I haven't gotten
Boston
to
and
the wild
Ottawa?
card yet. I haven't gotten to the wild card
I'm
yet.
sorry.
I'm
I'm
going with
Okay.
division winners.
Got you.
This
Sorry.
ain't my first rodeo.
No, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, no. In the Metropolitan, yeah, I'm going with division leaders right now, or like the division playoff clinchers. Carolina, I believe, won the conference. There's gonna be no living with Ed. So congratulations to the Hurricanes. The Penguins are in. The Flyers are vying for a spot. And then let's see. The thing is, it sucks to be in the in the Atlantic Division because you have more points than the Flyers, but yet you're relegated to a wild card spot.
Right.
The Bruins are in, and the Ottawa Senators are in. So can the Flyers? The Flyers are, I guess, fighting with the with
Your
the
Washington
Capitals.
Capitals.
Yes, with my beloved Washington Capitals.
And
So
the
I've got
Columbus
like
Blue
17.
Jackets.
I probably got like 17 teams in the NHL. No,
Well, that's your East Coast team.
Well, that's my second team is the Capitals. And then let's not count out the Columbus Blue Jackets, who are right there as well. So interesting. I'm thinking that it's going to be interesting. I'm wondering where the Stanley Cup is going to go through because the Eastern Conference is stacked with some really good teams. But then you get to the Western Conference and you've got the Colorado Avalanche, who I think have clinched home ice throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean they've been dominant.
Yeah. What do you call that? The is that the President's Trophy that you get when you do that?
That
right?
I'm not quite sure of. It may be.
Well, anyways, so in the Central Division, the Avalanche clinched with 115 points, ridiculous. The Dallas Stars finished, have clinched with 108 points, and the Minnesota Wild with 102 points are in. Now in the Pacific Division, this is a very, very close race. Right now, Vegas is in on 91 points. This has to be the worst division in hockey. And I say this with my favorite team in it.
Right.
Vegas is top of the division with 91 points, which is far lower than basically everybody else. Edmonton is second on 90. They're up, I think, because of a tiebreaker situation. And then my Anaheim Ducks, for the first time in 5 years, well, my and Zach Beeson's Anaheim Ducks, let me get that right, are also on 90 points, but they have yet to, somehow Edmonton has clinched a spot on 90 points, but the Anaheim Ducks have not, which is basically due to a tiebreaker situation.
And it's funny because this is what used to drive me nuts about hockey until I understood the point system. Yeah. Anaheim has 42 wins. Vegas has 37 and Edmonton has 40. So the two teams ahead of the Anaheim have less wins, but more points, or are tied or more points.
Yeah.
However, Colorado Avalanche, by comparison, have 52 wins.
Right.
I mean, these guys wouldn't even be sniffing the playoffs in some of these other, none of them would be in the playoffs in other divisions.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I feel confident saying everyone in the Pacific Division is about to get smoked.
Exactly. Yeah, they're not going to be in the playoffs long.
I know that. As a Ducks fan. I've watched too many games seeing how many goals we concede.
Yeah.
Listen, when our forward line is on, they're great. But the problem is that you see a lot of 5-4 games or 6-5 or 7-4.
Right.
We have to score 5 or 6 goals if we want to win, because shoot, we gave up 3 goals. We gave up 4 goals to the Canucks.
Yeah.
Who have sewn up the worst record in hockey. But out of 4 meetings this season, the Canucks won 3. So the Ducks gave the Canucks 3 of their 4, 3 of their wins this season.
Yeah.
And it's been that way. The Canucks have dominated the Ducks for the last 5 years. just one of those teams we can't beat.
Yep.
Now, I will say this: last night they did not look like the worst team in hockey. They actually defended well, but Anaheim can score in a flurry, right? I mean, they and I don't mean a Marc-Andre flurry, but anyways, old hockey joke. But even the Utah Mammoth, who are on 90 points, have locked up a spot. Anaheim has not. So make it make sense. I have no idea. But then the final wild card spot is going to be interesting because the LA Kings have the final wild card spot at the moment on 87 points. But the Nashville Predators and to a lesser extent the Winnipeg Jets are still there. I really think it's just Nashville or bust. I think it's either going to be the Kings or the Predators or possibly the Ducks if the Ducks keep losing. I think it's the kind of a fight between those teams.
Right.
But if the Ducks blow this, then good luck. I'm hoping that it's just that Nashville loses or the Kings lose or something like that. But, we'll see. It's funny how the one game can mean the Anaheim Ducks are division champs or that they don't even make the playoffs. It's just
right.
it's that close.
It's that close. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But either way, I think I'm not one for predictions, but because I don't ever get it right. But I think you have to hope that you don't get the Stars or the Avalanche in the first round because you're going to get smoked.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't see. Yeah, that's going to be nasty for somebody. Because right now, if the playoffs started today, right, it would be in the Western Conference. It would be Colorado and the LA Kings. Good luck, Kings. Yeah, Dallas and the Wild. Man, the Wild got hosed here. Yeah, I forgot with this new playoff system how that works, but the Pacific, I don't care. The Pacific Division is lucky as rip to be playing someone else in the first round.
Yeah,
because that is not even fair. You basically got into a favorable bracket if you're the Ducks or Vegas or Edmonton or Utah. That is, ouch. Yeah, because if you're in that top bracket, man, you're just that just isn't fair. But anyways, I digress. I guess that's what happens when one division is better than another.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, I think it should be overall seating like it used to be. But I guess because I'm old, right? I'm the one that's going to be saying that from my lawn. Oh wait, I don't have a lawn. But from outside of where I live. Anyways. So,
well, I love hockey now, and I love playoff hockey even better. So I'm anxious to see how this goes. And
with the Panthers out of it, who are you going to be as a
I'll
neutral in this case?
I'll fall back on the Carolina Hurricanes because they're in Carolina, and they used to be the parent club of the Checkers.
You don't have to do that.
Yeah, I've got the hats to do it.
Listen, you don't have to suck up to Ed. He's not here. Disgusting. I won't lie. I like that logo, but disgusting. Oh, look at that. You have a new hat. I'm shocked. Anyways,
I found this one at TJ Maxx, by the way, for like $15.
Sure. Pretend that you shop where the rest of us do. Now, I will say, I know you shop there quite a bit, and you always find good deals.
I always try to slip into Marshall's, TJ Maxx, and actually, I may have actually found this at Marshall's. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, well,
but man, Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Ross, I still swing by and check them out.
You and John Southey have a knack for finding those deals at those places. I must shop at the worst Marshalls and TJ Maxx's around, and I never find any of those. Like you guys find good NHL and minor league hats, and I searched everyone in my local area. I went out for a day and just went to TJ Maxx and Marshall's places to see if I could find anything. Nada.
Well, Ross, they were on a run a few years ago. That's when Southie turned me on to them when they were dumping a lot of minor league logo stuff. I got a ton of minor league hats. They have not had very many minor league hats the last maybe 3 years now,
Yeah.
but I do find some interesting takes on some major league. In fact, I found this one at Ross a while back. It's sitting over here. Just a weird combination.
Yeah.
It's a brown San Diego Padres, but just with a white and
Ooh,
green SD. I don't know why
I
it's
like that.
white and green.
It's not as
But
good as their old City Connect, but that's still good.
yeah, so I saw this one. It was like
Yeah.
$15, so why not
Nothing wrong with that.
something different?
Nothing wrong with that. When you got a bottomless pit of trillions of dollars of cash, that's the
No,
way to do it, man.
no, it's not. I've left some behind too.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even ask you what your first hat was. On the show we need to start doing what hat we're wearing. I found on Monday
You
nights
sure
we
you
don't
didn't know
normally
what
do that.
that was?
I didn't even notice that's what you were wearing. I'll be honest with you. Listen, that's the team that Chelsea beat in the Champions League in 2012. Like Chelsea's first ever Champions League win was against Bayern Munich.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yep. That was one of my favorite days as a supporter, not only at Chelsea but just in sports. Period. That was like the holy grail that Chelsea couldn't win, and now I can say they've won the lot. That comes from supporting a team that ebbs and flows in success. So they've won every trophy basically on offer now. So they've won the Conference League, they won the Europa League, and they've won the Champions League twice. So they won the Europa League twice. So, as we say, we've won the lot. But of course, if you're a Bayern Munich or a Real Madrid supporter, of course you haven't won the lot because you're never outside the Champions League.
Yeah.
But also, we've won the Club World Cup. Only team to do it so far. Don't know how we did it. Still don't know how we did it, but not going to question it. I'm just going to take it.
Yep.
Well,
have you watched any of the UFL? I know Ed's been getting into it, and I've wanted to. I just, again, being gone the last 2 weekends, I haven't seen any games. I've seen bits and pieces of some games the first week.
I'll be honest, I have not. But do you want me to go over some UFL scores?
Well, I had them here. I was going to run down them real quick. So Friday night, and I like that they do a Friday night game this time of year. There's not much else. Football. Well, there's no football, obviously, but anyway, it's cool to see a Friday night game. So the Orlando Storm are 3-0 now after defeating the Louisville Kings 29-27.
That was overtime, wasn't it?
That I don't know. It doesn't say that it's overtime on the score that I'm looking at, but it could have been.
Okay.
Saturday you had the Defenders, DC Defenders over the Houston Gamblers. Gamblers have looked pretty good, but not played well. They've looked good. There's some nice uniforms and they've played some okay ball, but they got smoked 45-7 on Saturday.
Ooh. Yeah, no kidding.
Sunday, doubleheader. Renegades are 3-0 over the Columbus Aviators, 28-23, and the Battlehawks downed my Birmingham Stallions, 34-30. So things have changed in Birmingham. They've been a defending champion for a couple of seasons, and now they're a little bit struggling this year. So you got your Renegades and your Storm at 3-0, and then 2-1 you got the Battlehawks and Defenders, and then the losing records are Houston, Birmingham, Columbus, Louisville. So I hope they can continue to make this a viable league and not have continued change every year to year.
Yeah.
And in fact, I hope they just kind of stay with these teams for a couple of seasons and let everything kind of settle before they start trying to do anything more with it. They keep tweaking and messing with it, and they keep screwing things up by doing that, in my opinion. And they don't have any consistency.
Well, I mean, I always think it's good to have a viable alternative. I'm always a fan of something that gives someone who's trying to make it another chance and another avenue in which to do it. I think as obviously what brought us together is like our love of minor league baseball and hats, right?
Right.
But I think I think we can extend that to other sports that we, not to speak for everyone on our, on our show, but I think we like to see people given a chance to make it and to get that, to not let someone's dream die. So,
Absolutely.
we want to see these leagues be financially viable, so that way those opportunities can continue to be given.
And I've always thought a spring football league would be a good league. It's just
Yeah,
it doesn't get the support. But they've
yeah,
always tried to make it like a spring version of the NHL, and that's not what it is.
no,
And you
no.
can't try to be that.
They've been
The
poorly
original
managed. They've
right,
been
the
poorly
original
managed.
USFL, if it could have been managed better, I think it could have been one of those things that would have lasted till now, probably, if it was
Sure,
just managed right.
sure.
Uh, but I mean, it's the same with Arena League. The Arena League's gone through so much turmoil because it gets mismanaged so badly over the
Right,
years.
right.
So
Well, I did want to go over for those that don't know, the WNBA draft was tonight, and uh, just a complete shocker that UConn had a player taken number one. Because so like UConn women having a player make it, drafted by WNBA team. Well, if I didn't know, I would say this was last year, because I feel like it's the exact same thing. The Dallas Wings taking another, UConn basketball player at the number one spot. So Paige Becker's last year and Ozzie Fudd this year. So, did I say that right? Is it Ozzie?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I know it's
So
Elmer's daughter, but
it's what?
it's Elmer's daughter.
Well, obviously, yeah. They were hunting wabbits. So, anyways, um, the so then at number 2, the Minnesota Lynx drafted Olivia Miles out of TCU. The Seattle Storm, I'm not even going to try to say that name.
Awa
Uh,
Fam
Agua
Fame?
Fam Tiam,
Tiam, maybe? Yeah,
out of
Spain.
Valencia, out of Valencia in Spain. So, and then started uh, all the draftees of UCLA.
I think
Um,
UCLA's starting 5 all got drafted tonight in the first round.
I believe it. That's what happens when you win a national championship.
Yeah.
Congratulations to UCLA, by the way. So the Washington Mystics, who need all the help they can get, drafted Lauren Betts. Chicago Storm drafted her teammate Gabriela Jaquez out of UCLA as well. The Toronto Tempo, 3 UCLA in a row. They drafted Kiki Rice, the guard out of UCLA. And then let's see. Who's PDX? Is that Portland Fire? Excuse me. I'm trying to learn all the new teams, guys. They drafted Iana Martin Carrion out of Club Baloncesto Avenida in Spain. So that's
2
cool.
Spanish European League team
Yeah.
women. Okay.
Yeah, interesting. We've seen that in the men's game. Now we're starting to see it in the women's game.
Mhm.
I think it's another sign of other countries starting to catch up to the United States in basketball.
Yeah.
I'm going to say basketball players / entrepreneur / girl boss. The Golden State Valkyries drafted Flau'jae Johnson out of LSU. Go Tigers. And then to complete the UCLA starting 5, the Mystics drafted Angela Dugalich. Is that 2 UCLA players?
Yeah, as I say, two UCLA players in the first 9 went to the Mystics.
Yeah, so they got the UCLA center and one of their forwards. Then finally a South Carolina player.
Yep.
The Indiana Fever at 10 took Raven Johnson out of South Carolina. Wow. The Mystics have loaded up on picks. They got Cody McMahon out of Ole Miss. So the Connecticut Sun at 12 took Nell Angloma out of France, out of Basket Lat Montpellier Association. Let's see. The Atlanta Dream took Medina Okat out of South Carolina. 14, Seattle Storm took Taina Mayer out of Duke. And at 15, another UCLA player. The Connecticut Sun took Gianna Neepkins, a guard out of UCLA. So I won't go over the second and third rounds, but kind of at
I
least
don't
want to
think
show.
I don't think they've. I think the second and third rounds must be tomorrow because they don't.
No, no, they took place.
Oh, okay. Well, then my page must not have reloaded.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
my page had not reloaded. My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And by the way, just to kind of go over it in the second round, there's another player. Marta Suarez was the first pick of the second round. She's from Spain, but she's out of TCU. And then, a player from Germany, another UCLA player.
Another one, and that's the second one going to
The Sun, right?
the Connecticut Sun. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
They took with the 15th pick and then the 16th,
Hey,
18th
the LA Sparks finally made a pick in the everyone, just so you know, not that anyone cares or asks or asked, but I'm an LA Sparks fan. So Tania Latson out of South Carolina. I don't hate that pick. That's a good one.
And the Mystics got their fourth player in this draft just ahead of that from Notre Dame.
Do you think she's going to prosper?
As long as she lives long, she will prosper.
Wow. They're not going to let us back on here, just the two of us ever again. And then the Sky took Latasha Lattimore from Ole Miss at 6 in the second round. Okay. And the Sparks got Chance Gray from Ohio State at 9 in the second round. I'm not mad at those picks. I don't think they're game changers, but I think they're solid picks from what I know about them, at least. Wow, and the Washington Mystics, how many picks did they have in this draft?
I don't know, but they have a pick in the third round as well. So I think they had 6 picks overall.
Okay.
And not to go through much of the third round, but just from an international standpoint, as we were talking about in the first round, there were international players in the third round drafted from Japan, Hungary, and China.
I was just about to say that.
And Australia, excuse me, and Australia.
Yeah. But I like to see that. Like, it blows my mind when I see some of these like new max contracts being signed in the WNBA, these 1-year deals. It's like these maxes are like 1.2 million, which, you know, I know when you sneeze, it's at least, 110.5 million. So these are Trump numbers compared to you. But no, in comparison to the NBA and the ridiculous contracts some of those players get for hardly playing, or basically for being tall.
Yeah.
Like they get these ridiculous max contracts. And I understand some of it's based off of TV contracts. I get that. But some of these women can ball, and they have to play, in that 3-on-3 league or whatever it is to try to get get endorsements to try to take advantage of trying to, market themselves. But it doesn't seem fair that WNBA players only get, less than $1 million to $1 million if NBA players are getting that. But I guess it comes down to, the type of TV contracts the NBA can generate versus what the WNBA can. But I mean, there are some good players that it's like, man, they're making listen, I understand the grand scheme of things for the everyday person. That's a lot of money for the star players, but comparing apples to apples with, or comparing it to their fellow athletes on the men's side, the disparity is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Then again, you could say what athletes are making in general pales in comparison to what the everyday working, person, I almost said American, but everyday working person worldwide makes. Your average Joe or Jane, that works hard themselves. I'm not looking to make this into like a pop culture or a personal political thing. I just mean, the economic disparity when you compare one to the other is just drastic.
It is, and it will continue to improve. I think for the WNBA, the popularity has gotten bigger in the last few years. I mean, people forget WNBA has been around for how many years now? I mean, they've been doing this league a lot of years, and they've had a lot of popularity, but never the level that they've gotten in the last few years. So it'll continue. It is what it is. I mean, that's the thing. It's the men's games are always going to get paid more, draw more money, draw
Oh
more
yeah.
interest. That's just life. That's just the way it is. I mean, it's not nothing that is right or wrong about it. It's just that's the way it is because um, they're the ones that draw more advertisers, draw more sponsorship deals, and more people are going to watch men's sports over women's sports. Period. Whether you like it or not, that's just the way it is. But I agree that they should probably be getting more than what they're getting, especially with the league as a whole, as NBA partnered with this and kind of, I guess, in control. I don't know how all that works, but
Yeah.
they should allot money they get from the men's deals towards this to help bring it up. And
Yeah.
again, it will continue to improve. I think
Well,
it's just not going to all happen super fast.
well,
And by the way, there were 7 different countries that had players drafted in this 3-round draft.
which is a beautiful thing. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I guess what I wanted to say is I'm glad to see the women's game still growing, and maybe economics will catch up. Well, not completely catch up, but like maybe they'll improve in due time. I don't know. I
Well,
I
you
just like
have
to
a
see
lot of
everyone give them opportunities.
you have a lot of polarizing players that draw attention, and if they keep
Yeah.
drawing attention in a positive way, not necessarily in an Angel Reese negative way.
Did you hear Angel Reese? Did Angel Reese actually end up in Atlanta, or was that an April Fool's joke?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I'm about to find out because I didn't know if I really didn't know if it was. No, it's true. She got traded to the Atlanta Dream.
I thought it was true, but it was again. There's so many things on the internet now. You got to
I
double and
don't
triple check.
I don't know how I don't know how I feel about that.
Just like I sent you guys a video that I thought was from this weekend of Bobby Witt, and
Yep.
you know who else actually shared that on their social media yesterday,
Who's that?
as if it had just happened? Rich Eisen.
Ooh,
I was like, hey, I'll take that company all day.
there you go.
And I
Is
think
that
he
long?
shared it from the same source that I shared it from, to be honest with you.
Is that like when you share breaking news from Aiden Schliffler?
I've learned my lesson on that one. I double check that, but I just saw that video and I was like, "Oh, this looks like it's recent."
So
I've learned my lesson now. I need to.
well, I can't talk. I'm gonna tell myself here. I almost fell for something today on social media regarding someone from Newcastle actually. Normally when there's like a team puts up, it will say statement and then put a manager's name, which is kind of code for they've sacked them or they've left the club.
Right.
And so I almost clicked on it, but then I took a second look and I saw the handle was not Newcastle. And so it was someone spoofing it because
Yep.
they were so mad about Newcastle losing this past weekend. They wanted to see Eddie Howe sacked. So I was like, I almost fell for that. And I was so ashamed because I should know better,
Yep.
but I almost fell for it.
There's a couple of videos that I've similarly seen them and like, oh, and then I look at the handle and it's like rage bait something.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, okay. No.
Or some of the accounts, like especially with college sports, I've started seeing like people like putting up things that they say allegedly happened, and then they're satire accounts.
Right.
It's hard to tell the difference these
There was
days.
a good one yesterday too. I know we kind of got off track here, but to finish, but there was one that showed Trevor Lawrence with like like he had cut all his hair off and like had it shaped up and all. And I was like, oh, did he finally decide to go that route? And then I was like, I saw it like in 2 different places. I'm like,
Mhm.
let me go to Trevor Lawrence's Instagram. No, he ain't done that.
You had to. The show was going so well, and you had to ruin it with Clemson.
Well, you know, it is what it is.
Just like he ruins minor league stadiums because he throws all that that money around.
Mhm.
Hmm buying naming rights because he's got that humongous ego he has to.
Oh, don't
Yeah.
get me started on naming rights. I'm already pissed about naming rights today on a certain
in,
stadium.
in Asheville.
Yeah.
You and me both.
You don't
'Cause I was
mess with
because I was trying to make it there.
history.
I was trying to make it there under its previous name. Now I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we might get into that tomorrow night.
I'm
And
sure we will.
speaking of, thank you all for joining us. Shout out to the chat. Really appreciate you participating. Join us tomorrow night at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time for the DHC Sports Show. Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for everything tonight. Thanks for joining in.
Absolutely.
Big shout out to the chat, and we will see you tomorrow night.
All right. Good night.